how your channel looks to others. La la la. I have to wait for it to come
You gotta
up live.
refresh.
I know. I always have to do this. Oh, there we are. Live
Looks like
now.
quite a difference here.
Okay, let's see if anybody's in yet.
They're probably chomping at the bit.
Don't you know? Big Bear, say something. Not yet.
Folks, that I even publicized Select Specialty Hospital across the country.
There you go. tell your boss you need a raise.
So busy today, oh my God. I'm just going to have to tell them I've got a few notes. I don't have the answers to everything.
Well, the wonderful thing about
Let me know when we got people in there.
it's just me right now. Nope, it's not just me. Hi, Michelle. Tammy Palmer. That's a new one.
Yo, yo, yo!
Hey, and Tammy has that's a Star of David. That's pretty cool. What?
Nothing?
That's my, everything I do.
There's Sherry. Oh, tacos.
Is that Wayne?
Controversial. No, Caps fan. Hey, Karen. Family Roots. I got a couple people in here. 10.
I'm gonna push the camera back.
Hey, Karen, Sherry, and all of you that I already know in here. How are we?
How's our audio?
Yeah, how's the audio? So we had to kind of, since now there's 3 of us, just like when we did,
Brett.
when we did Brett, we had to worry
Yeah,
about.
we stuck Brett in the corner.
Yeah, we did put him. We put
We
him right
squished
there.
him.
Hey, Daniel. Hey, Krista.
Go for green.
Solid sound. Audio's great. Good. Okay. Awesome.
How do we look?
Old ways, new times. We're good to go. I think we're okay.
Am I as
I'm kinda-
handsome as always?
Test video. You did a test video earlier?
I told you I did. When I was
No,
trying
you
to.
didn't.
Yes, I did. When I was trying to hook up the other mic.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I have a question. XZKT. What do I call you? Because I can't keep up with XZKT. Just doesn't work for me.
I think his name is John.
Okay, Sherry, actually, even a little louder if Jason gets uppity, y'all look. Oh, so when Jason gets uppity, you gotta tone it down a little bit. Always Steve, hi. Phil, his name is Phil.
Phil.
Awesome.
Phil, that's right, Phil.
Buffalo Patriot says the beard is looking sweet. As he pensively strokes it. Hey, Wee Tree, we're glad you're here. Glad to see that little wrench. Alright, so we're gonna give it.
We tree be a little easy.
Don't let your trigger finger get too itchy.
Don't go.
He's one of our moderators. He makes sure if we have any trolls or anything, he'll clean it all up for us. So, but okay.
HE double hockey sticks is okay.
Hey, Amanda, Bass Family Haven is here.
Winter bass.
Beard needs a little length. Hey, Grandpa, what's
Who
up?
said that?
Kathy Shaken, I guess. New Mexico nurse. We got a lot of new people in here. I'm really excited to see you all here. That's
You
pretty
recognize
cool.
any of those names from the group?
Well, they're
I
YouTube
was
names,
not
so
talking.
I know that's what I'm saying. Though they're YouTube names, so I don't know. Tall Oak
Okay.
Farm. Hey,
Oh,
Kitty.
I put it out there on the group.
Kitty's
I
here.
called him out too. I said, "Don't
Grandpa
do that."
says taco. Grandpa, while we're still here and trying to get everybody together, I still have a question. I have a question. Are you gonna let Jason cuddle with you up in Alaska?
Yeah, you never answered that last night, Grandpa.
Hurt his feelings. He didn't sleep well last night. Oh no. Teresa said it's Jason, so he is taco, squash, and his favorite poop. That's my favorite. Okay, Anita's here. We got a lot of good.
How many people?
We're at 40.
40. Okay.
Look, now she's. What did I not answer? Okay, Grandpa, listen. Last night, Jason asked you if he could come up to Alaska. And you said he could come, but you didn't have a bed or anything for him to sleep in, so he'd have to bring his own shelter. So the question was, would you let him cuddle with you? Oh, Grandpa, you told him no. That's what Weetree said. Wheatree said yes. He said he already answered no, so maybe we just missed it.
Um,
Hey, Alderman Farms, we're glad y'all are here too. We didn't
Sup,
see you
Alderman
last
Farms?
week. All right. So we're
Okay.
about at 44, 45. We're about 2-3 minutes in.
Okay. Well, we always wait till about.
Not just no, but HE double hockey sticks no. We figured as much, but we figured we'd ask.
We have that. We know how y'all get in Alaska.
Wayne's in the house. Hey, Wayne.
What up, Wayne?
I heard you finally got a hold of my husband today.
Yeah, Wayne. Don't you got to say something in the chat box?
Mm.
Hmm? Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Let me talk like how Wayne talks in Skype.
Up, Alderman Farm says, Big Bear, Grandpa set the bar pretty high last night. Better bring your A game. Oh, we brought our A game. We always bring our A game.
I brought the guns.
All right, so let's see. Could you please ask Jake? Yes, I will. I got it, Sherry. I'll ask him.
What?
Don't worry about it. I'll ask later.
Okay.
Okay, so Buffalo Patriot, Amanda's here. Quantum Man, can I get a shout out? Everybody shout out where you're at. Oily Prepper's here. Okay, so Oily Prepper, I know, does essential oils.
Okay. Wait.
Brad's here.
What's up, Brad?
Hey, Zena, we're glad you're here. Oh, wow.
What?
Grandpa said guns looks like pea shooters to me.
It's that 50 caliber long rifle.
Oh, Wayne says, how are you, Camel?
Oh, Wayne.
Look at that. Maine, North Carolina, Missouri, Arkansas, Alabama, Oklahoma, Florida, New Jersey, West Virginia. We know where you're from, Grandpa. All right.
All right. So let's get ready
To rumble.
to get going. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do our channel shout outs.
Yes.
My channel shout out for our live stream is Wayne's Country Living. I got to talk to Wayne for a good bit today on Skype, finally, even though like the first few minutes it was like because he couldn't get the thing working, but once he got it working, it was great. And let me tell you something, if y'all got a question about propane,
Yep.
go talk to Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there was a couple of times he was just talking and I just finally just went, I was like, and he got done and I'm like, you do realize for the last 5 minutes you've been speaking Chinese to me. But very good to go. So that's my channel shout out.
Yes. So mine, let's see, wait.
No, not wait.
Oh. Then, Jason, you have to explain to Bumblebee why my YouTube channel smells like a Mexican house of ill repute.
Who said that?
Bumblebee. Because you had everybody go. Okay, so.
Come on, we gotta get
Okay,
to
so
that.
my channel shout out is going to be Go for Green Living. I really enjoy my late night phone calls and all of the information that I get from Daniel and Krista, and Anna's awesome. We love little Anna. So that's mine. They have so much information. I haven't even begun to delve into everything that they've got. I'm hoping to be able to make a day trip over to their place so I can just ask them a bunch of questions. So.
Yeah, you gotta make sure they'll let us come now that you done put that warning out that you're gonna ask questions.
Oh no, Daniel's ready. He's ready for it. So is Krista. Krista and I are gonna just rub oil elbows. So.
Okay.
All
So, also, one more thing before we introduce the young lady sitting right here. Today, I want give you guys a few minutes while Bumblebee was whining about the way his YouTube channel smells right now. If you guys didn't get a chance to see the vlog, we asked everybody to go over to Bumblebee's channel and wish him and his wife a happy anniversary and say eat tacos. But they've been married like, I think he said 16, 17 years, been together like 20. So
Did you see their wedding picture? That's a
Yes.
pretty awesome wedding picture.
yes. So everybody give them a real quick Happy anniversary.
Yep.
Don't say it in this box now. Don't
Oh,
be.
they already did.
Aw, see, you gotta go to his channel and say eat tacos.
They have.
And just like I got a phone call from Brad today. You guys are doing good. Continue to go to his old videos. Watch them. Just comment tacos. It's really doing a great job.
Yep.
Okay. So now,
All right. So now,
the young lady sitting here to my right. Her name is Miss Kay Pittman. She is in our upline with doTERRA. We use doTERRA essential oils. She's in our upline. But most of all, the reason why we had her come here today is because she started a group in Augusta where they're using essential oils to help with gardening and livestock. They're doing a lot of tests and stuff with parasite control and stuff like that. Hi, Kay. Welcome to the Big Bear Homestead
and
Show.
you had a bunch of people that are saying hi. Hi, Miss Kay.
Hi, y'all.
So.
Thank you, Jason and Robin, for inviting me. It's been a long time since anybody's called me young, Jason. But I appreciate it. I'm going to give a little bit background history. I apologize. I just left work in Augusta to come up here today. And I've been an RN for 36 years. And I, at this present time, work for a long-term acute care facility. And I got into herbs and essential oils probably 20 years ago, and about 15 years ago I was legally blind from some medicines because I have a rare disorder called Best disease that affects my retinas, and there was nothing they can do for me. Well, my vision was corrected 20/80 in my left eye and 2100 in my right eye, and now I'm back corrected 20/20. My retinas have improved, and a lot of it's from essential oils. Herbs started me in the beginning. And the biggest reason I love essential oils so much is their potency. You know, herbs, they dry out, they lose their potency. Essential oils stay potent, and usually a drop will do you. If you think about it, 1 drop of peppermint oil is equal to about 25-26 cups of peppermint tea. I mean, that's pretty big. We have an organic farm, not certified. I've been doing organic farming for about 36 years. I don't use any kind of chemicals, fungicides, herbicides, or anything. And so once I got into essential oils, and it took me a while to find the ones I really liked, and I did choose doTERRA. I've been in it about 4 years. And the reason I chose them, well, I did muscle testing, and they proved to be what I needed and worked for me, and I muscle tested them over people. And then I had an independent purity test done by somebody, and I used them compared to some of the other oils you could get, and they told me this is the real deal. And I'm not here just to promote doTERRA. So the other thing is we use them for our family health. We're into prepping a little bit, and we use it for our animals, and we use it in our garden. So the biggest reason we start with our family, if you think about if we have any natural disasters or whatever, pharmacies are closed, you can't get your medicines. So there's so many oils that will help with certain health conditions and things like that. And you know, the FDA is investigating people that say anything about essential oils. So I'm going to do my best to stay compliant. If I step outside the ledge, please reel me back in, but I'm going to do my best.
We don't care. We don't like we don't like big government here.
Yeah, Doug and Stacy said, "Shh, Big Pharma doesn't like oils."
Exactly. And just something.
What's up, Homestead homie?
And one thing I do want to share, and I'm not just saying it's just doTERRA, but I think there's some other essential oil companies that are coming. The FDA did a pretty big investigation with them last year, and one of their products that the FDA checked out, doTERRA did all this research, and they proved that it far exceeded the results that any other pharmaceutical product could do. And the FDA said, yes, you can brag and share all this, however, it would have to be prescription. doTERRA chose to let it still be available through their company without a prescription. But there's a blend that has been shown to eliminate any bacteria and viruses. So there's a lot of good things out there, because in the medical field we can't do that anymore. I can only begin to tell you what I have to deal with every day. All right, So, and if y'all have questions or want
I
me to go
already
back,
have one.
okay,
I knew this was going to happen.
I could go back.
Wayne wants to know, and we already know this, but help everybody out. Are there any oils or herbs that work for acid reflux?
Well, yes. We're supposed to call it the digestive blend, but it's the Digest Zen, particularly with doTERRA. I think other companies have different things. And while we're talking about acid reflux, this is one of my favorite oils. I keep it. I use it when I don't use anything else. Digest Zen, and I hope y'all are okay if I get a little graphic, but one time I had a GI bug I picked up from somebody at work, and I was in the bathroom all night long. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I got to be at work at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm not a big oil taker of a lot of stuff, but I don't know if any of y'all remember Paregoric. Well, and I stepped outside of one of my rules. I figured if one drop was good, 4 was better, and I put it in a shot glass and chugged it. It was the worst tasting thing in the world, but within 10-15 minutes I didn't have diarrhea anymore. So since then I've learned to just put it on my belly, because I do not like the taste of Paregoric. I remember that in my childhood. Oh my gosh, it was awful. Some people love the taste. I particularly do not. But you can just put it on your belly. You can put it on a child that's colicky. I would dilute it just a tiny bit with fractionated coconut oil or lotion or whatever you choose. And it's just awesome. Now I'm going to and I'll probably dip back and forth between people, animals, and gardening. So if I get confusing, just tell me to stop. But
let me cut in.
Okay.
The Facebook group that you guys have down in Augusta, how long has that been going on?
I don't even think it's been a year. I may have started around this time last year.
I thought it was going on before we left.
The essential oils for livestock?
Yes.
I believe it's within a year. If I'm not mistaken, I may have started it before, either right before or right after convention last September.
Okay. Yeah. I'm probably getting confused because we did come down to Augusta for some classes. So that was
we
right
teach
about
classes
that time,
all the time, and then we thought, well, why not share this with other people? And we teach about animals all the time and livestock. But
how successful has different homesteads down in that area that have been using essential oils with their livestock? How successful have they been?
We've been pretty successful. We have, and it grows all the time. I mean, and there's numerous type of animals. We have about 3 or 4 dairy goat farms. We have horse farms. Somebody has sheep, chickens, ducks, rabbits, you just name it, that these oils have proven beneficial. And the biggest thing about them is, and the one reason why I started using them was because we have dairy goats. And if with the South, you have this hot, humid weather, and if you worm them, you have to withhold the milk to use it. And I said, well, we have some goats. I mean, we're getting sometimes 7-8 gallons a day. And I thought, I'm not just going to make soap. So I wanted something that was safe for us and our animals, and that we wouldn't have a withhold time from chemicals. And I'm proud to say we have the 3rd generation of goats that have not had any chemicals in them, just essential oils. So I feel like I can talk with some type of knowledge about using these oils. So Digest is my favorite. It's my go-to oil. Let me tell you a few different animals you can use it for and what we've used it for. Horses. We have saddlebred show horses. And some of our horses colic with the change of scenery, the weather or whatever. We had one horse, and I've had horses about 40 years. I've lost a few to colic, and Banamine's always been my go-to drug to give them for pain. And with the Digest, then you'll put like 5 drops on their flank and maybe a couple of drops in their mouth. Sometimes I'll put it right on their tongue, neat, which means without dilution. Or sometimes I'll put it in like a syringe of 3 cc's of some type of oil, olive oil, coconut oil, and just squirt it in their mouth. Well, we had this one horse who had hardly any gut sounds. Within 10 minutes he was up. Within 20 minutes he had gut sounds and he was having bowel movements. And, saddlebreds are kind of wild and crazy. And I used to do all the stuff with our horses, and now my daughter does most of it. And so I haven't really messed with this horse much. But he was like on top of me in my pocket wanting more. He wanted to smell the oils. He was so excited. And within 30 minutes, we put him in a paddock, watched him. He was ready. He was neighing and nickering and trotting, so we put him back with his friends. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive. I've never seen colic turn around that quickly, and every time we use it. Goats, you know, they get diarrhea. I've stopped diarrhea in goats quickly. Goats get enterotoxemia. I've helped several people. We do Digoxin, maybe oregano, because oregano has great antibacterial effects. And we've been able to turn some of these does that would have died. Sometimes we might throw a little peppermint or whatever. We just kind of watch them and figure out. We had a little kid last year who had pneumonia. We treated it within like 2 or 3 days, and we were able to put it back out with its mother, and we didn't have to bottle feed it anymore. I mean, I can go on and on.
You guys keep that in that group. There's like 4 or 5 of you that
Right.
have been keeping hardcore records.
Right.
Fecal.
Right, we
Only
do,
fecals.
and that's where we realized we were able to deal with parasite management. We have one of our people. She was a vet tech, and she did fecals all the time, so she's taught us. Or if we have questions, we'll take them to her and we'll look at them. I mean, and she had high counts, and some of these we've even been able to get counts down to 0. Right now, she only has a few goats, but her parasite count is absolutely 0, and the vets will tell us you can't do that. Well, we do it on a regular basis. And we are, in matter of fact, I've been talking to the state veterinarian in South Carolina, and she keeps telling me I can't wrap my head around this. They're listening because several people, I've even got somebody in Missouri whose veterinarian told her there's nothing else you can do for parasite management. Try anything. And she has Boer goats, and she's been pleased with the results she's gotten from it. I just talked to somebody upstate Georgia we're getting a doling from, and she said, I can't send her right now because all the babies have diarrhea from all this heat and the stress and everything. She's tried some oils and been impressed. I mean, you get immediate action and results. So anyway, the state veterinarian wants to come to the farm this fall, and I'm going to show her records, and and I even forgot to tell her this is our 3rd generation, and they haven't had any essential oils. And we're doing parasite management, health management. We've even helped goats with urinary kidney stones by giving them lemon, just drenching them with the lemon essential oil. It dissolves it. Wounds, oh my gosh, you can heal a wound in hardly any time with it. Well, I can't say heal, can I? You can change the appearance of a wound quickly to where it disappears magically.
Well, let me ask.
Wait, I have a question.
Okay.
I don't know if this is a joke or not, but somebody asked about an old mule with arthritis.
Oh yeah. Are you talking about the person specifically as being an old mule, or is this
know.
an animal?
I think it might be an animal, but
Who
I
asked the
could be
question?
wrong. I can't remember. I
Okay.
think it was.
Was
I
it
don't
Grandpa?
know. No, it wasn't like obvious. So.
Okay, so this is another thing we've done. I mean, there's so many animals.
Well, how do you fix arthritis? Let's just say in a person.
Okay, and I can tell you, I'm the biggest skeptic, and I think Jason and Robin can tell you. I look at things and say, oh yeah, that doesn't work. And being a nurse for so many years, it took me a long time to say, yeah, this is not snake oil, voodoo, and whatever. There's a supplement group called Lifeline Vitality Pack, and I was told I needed 3-level back surgery. I keep telling me I need a knee replacement. I cracked my coccyx when I fell, and I had my rotator cuff was bothering me about 2 years ago. And I thought, I am not going to take a bunch of supplements. That's just a gimmick. Well, I happened to have won some at a one of our little classes, and the Lifelong Vitality Pack. Within 3 days, I did not have any pain. I walk so much better. I can go up and down steps. And sometimes I quit taking it to see, well, does it really help? And yes, it really does. And I get back on it. We had, there's somebody that shows German Shepherds, and she has some of the top German Shepherds in the country. And she had some dogs with issues. And matter of fact, we went out there, and there was a dog that had an accident in the breed show ring, and he wouldn't let people touch him. Well, the judge has to touch the dog. So they brought the dog up to me, and the dog practically got in my lap, and I put some oils on it. And anyway, the dog's able to show again, and she let everybody touch him. Had a dog that kept gagging. We did the Digoxin. They were hooked. She had a dog that witnessed a murder like within 15 feet from the owner, and he had some issues, and we helped him. Then she takes me to this dog who's one of her old breeding dogs, and she had muscle atrophy on her back end where she drug her back end behind her, and she's trying to decide whether to put her down. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, now she's asking me to perform resurrections. So we put frankincense down the spine and balance. And within a few seconds, she was able to pull her left hind leg up a little bit. And so then we went and looked at some other dogs, and she says, Kay, do you mind showing my husband, because I'll be gone, and let him work on while I'm gone? I said, sure. So we did it again, and the dog stood up on all four legs. Did not stand up long, but stood up and then sat down. I was like, oh my gosh, if I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't have believed it. And then later, she was able to start scratching her ear with one of her hind legs. So I was pretty impressed. The dog still has issues there. It's a degenerative spinal disorder that big dogs have. And sometimes she's able to do fine, and sometimes she's got the special wheelchair. I mean, these people have lots of money and they just do whatever. But it's made a huge difference. So we have a lot of people that use the Lifelong Vitality Pack for that. Another thing that's good is anything that's anti-inflammatory, like lemongrass, frankincense, the deep blue, wintergreen, any of those things. Clove oil is probably one of the best oils for pain. And we kind of have like a cocktail that we put together. But, you know, you do like a clove oil first and then layer it with, and I can tolerate it neat. Some people want to dilute it a bit, and that's fine. And then like frankincense and marjoram and lemongrass, deep blue, and the top it off with is peppermint, because peppermint will help drive it into the tissue. And the beauty about essential oils is you only want to, one drop will do you. As you can always add it again in 20 or 30 minutes. But it's best, less is best. And I do practice what I preach, except that one time. And I learned, it worked, but still it's not something I would recommend all the time. Now, with animals, sometimes if I'm going to lose one, I might be a little bit more aggressive and say, well, what are my options? I'm going to lose this animal. Let me keep trying. And we've turned quite a few around. My daughter had her old show Saddlebred that got bit in the nose by a snake. He was laying on the ground just, and she called me hysterical. I'm thinking, you can't get epinephrine like you used to. And so I was thinking, what oils do we have at the house? So I said, get the lemongrass, frankincense, and breathe. And I told her how to do it. And I'm on the phone listening, and you could hear his relief occurring almost instantly. And then within about 20 minutes, he was kind of like halfway sitting up looking at her. And his muzzle was so swollen, and within about 45 minutes to an hour, he was up, standing, walking around, wanting to drink and stuff.
Any question?
And then as the days progressed, she kept doing that for a couple of days, and by the third day, he'd had enough. He'd come up to her, smell the oils, let her put them on him, and when he was all right, he was gone. So most animals will come to you asking for the oils. We have dogs. One of the people in my group, she has, her dogs are scared of thunder. And she puts the oil on the ears. The dog comes to her asking for it, and then she just lays down and she's fine.
What oil is that she uses for thunder?
Lavender.
Right. Well, we already do that. So that's one thing I was going to say is
Apollo doesn't like it when you put lavender on his paws.
Well, because the problem we have with him is that he'll get very he'll sleep during the day. He gets his cycles mixed up, and then he'll be running around in the middle of the night, and everybody's up for that. And so what we started doing is when it gets closer to bedtime, I'll just take, and it's like one drop on my hand. I'll rub it on my hand, and then I'll just put just on his pads. Just very, very rarely on his pads.
Or you can even put a drop on your hand and rub it and just do like this to him.
On his back of his ears?
Yeah, or on his little face.
Okay.
And then he'll just sniff it and it'll diffuse them.
So, got a question?
There was a question a while back from Wayne. He was asking about eczema. Is there anything for eczema?
Okay. Eczema is a diagnosis. I can tell you some oils that are good for skin issues. And there's a lot of different ones. I tell you...
We should have brought your book out here.
Yeah. And I'm telling y'all, I'm kind of looking at a few things with some notes because I can't remember, everything, and some things I use more than others. But again, and a lot of these things you got to realize, if it shows externally, like eczema, acne, it's internal is the problem. So you want to start with your digestive system. If you can, do a cleanse. We all know we get parasites because we eat meat. I mean, hopefully most of us are probably raising our own, but if you buy from the grocery store, you're going to have parasites. So you want the digestive blend. Then another good one is the Zendocrine, which is detoxing, because that detoxes your liver and your kidneys. Again, the Lifelong Vitality Pack and the probiotics, because that helps. All of that helps with your gut and, breaking down your enzymes and stuff. Lemon in your water, a couple of times a day, 1 or 2 drops. Now, you don't want to put it in plastic. You need a glass jar or bottle, because the lemon will pull
it out.
The petroleum and everything. And if you ever use a styrofoam cup, it'll eat right through it.
Right.
And so you got to be careful, and that's why oils are stored in glass jars, is because of that reason. Now, and then again, the digest, then you can put it on your belly, and like I said, that's what I like to do. And coconut oil.
I was about to say, it's awful quiet over there.
Well, it's just a little. Go ahead.
And Roman chamomile helps soothe, and then you can try, like Melaleuca has antibacterial properties, so that'll help, with that. And lavender, of course, is soothing, and myrrh and frankincense. Now, you have to kind of think about the cost of some of these. Myrrh is not a cheap oil.
No,
neither is frankincense.
And frankincense tastes like gym socks when you put it.
Oh, I love frankincense. However, if you dilute it, like 1 drop or 5 drops in 10 mLs, and do a roller bottle or something, I mean, it's going to last. So, if you figure it's still cheaper than pharmaceuticals, and you're not going to have the side effects.
Now, let me ask you this. You got this nifty little book here. And Robin has that big honking like encyclopedia.
That's what I was asking you about earlier.
Book.
Yeah.
Right. Now this book, and Robin doesn't have. This book cost me $10, and the big Essential Life book was what, $15 or $16?
I think it was. Yeah.
Well, I think when they're not on sale,
they were like $20. I think that's what I was budgeting was
they're
about
like
$20.
$25 prior to shipping and handling, but it has tons of information.
And I will definitely, because that was one thing I had asked you earlier in the week, was about those. So if we can...
Right, and then they're getting ready to come out with a new one. Those who are into doTERRA, our convention is in September, just in a couple of weeks. So all these new books will come out with new oils and new things. And the other one is Modern Essentials. And I like both of them. But I really like this one that they're talking about because it has recipes and a lot of things are broken down and really exploit a little bit more.
Now,
the other thing I really like about it is it breaks down each oil and it tells you the properties of each oil.
Right.
So if you miss it in one other place, you can find like whether there's an analgesic or whatever, if as long as you know what analgesic or a purgative or whatever it is, you know what you're looking for.
And the Modern Essential book has that also.
Okay.
But this one just goes a little bit beyond. And it's got good resources. And this is the first one that had a section for parasites and things too, and what different oils are good for parasites.
Okay. Let's see. There was a question about hot spots and eye boogers for dogs.
Okay, hot spots. I used to have a board and grooming kennel. Hot spots are usually caused from the dog licking some type of irritation off of that area. I used to have my kennel help that would not get soap. When they bathed the dog, they didn't get all the soap off of them. So, or they may have a, a scratch or something, and they just keep licking it. I have had phenomenal results with Melaleuca or tea tree oil for hot spots. And I just put, people say, oh, you're not supposed to use it, da-da-da-da. I have never had a problem. I've had greyhounds, Rottweilers, Dobermans, mixed dogs, all types of dogs. I use it for wounds. Oh my gosh. We've had horses at a barn we were at. 2 horses got out of their stalls and they got in a fight, and one had like a little hematoma on his neck, and the vet said it'll be fine. Well, when it broke open, he had a hole that big in his neck. So we put some bacitracin or even probably just Vaseline in the hand, put a couple of drops of Melaleuca, put the gauze all in it and just packed it a couple of times a day. And within a couple of weeks, he had a scar about the size of your pinky. I mean, it heals. I've used it. Went to another horse show, barefoot, stepped on a tent stake. I had a 3/4 avulsion of one of my toes. By the time I got it sutured, I was like, whatever. They want to give me antibiotics. I never took them. I just put the Melaleuca oil on it because they thought, oh, you're going to get osteoporosis, which is an infection of your bone. And the physician, when I got back home, was amazed that there wasn't even a scar. He couldn't even see where I did it. Got bit by a dog. You can't even see the scar. When the doctor asked me how I got cut, I said, oh, I think I got cut on some barbed wire. Because I didn't want the people to get in trouble because their dog bit me. I mean, the dog wasn't vicious. He just was one of those little snippy little Scottish terriers. So Melaleuca is phenomenal because it's also an antifungal. You can use it in your garden for funguses. This powdery mildew and all types of stuff you're going to get with all this wet weather.
What's so funny? No,
So
you're telling me a story.
The thing that I like with the oils is there's so many aspects you can use it in your household, your family, your garden, your animals. So one bottle might cost you $30, but there's 250 drops in a 15 ml bottle. So if you break it down, it's pennies to quarters. And the other thing I like about using it for parasite management, I think even if I combine some oils, it might cost me 25 cents an animal to worm. I don't know anything I can go buy anywhere and worm for that price that is even beneficial or will even do the job.
Now this book that we were talking about a few minutes ago, and then I called for the kids to bring Robin's book out. I know the very first time it was like there was a limited number of the book that Robin's got.
Right, and I'm sure they'll probably open up some more. Like I said, and on our page group, the Essential Oils for Livestock, we usually advertise those things to where people can get them. And sometimes what we'll do is order a case of them, and we can usually get free shipping. And then what we'll do is ship it to whoever. They just pay for the book. And I think one of our people, I think it cost her $6 to ship it. Some people say, well, I can get it off Amazon, but sometimes we can get a bargain on them, and you just don't ever know. Usually around convention time, they have free shipping, and we'll order 20, 50 books or whatever, and then we'll just divvy them out and let people
when is convention time?
September. I'm going up the 12th, so it's that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So
Okay, so
14, 15,
that's pretty
16.
close.
Right.
So if any of our viewers in the Homestead Network, if they want to get these books, if they reach out to me,
Right.
I can reach out to you,
Right.
and we can go ahead.
Right, I can get them
order
shipped. Yeah, we can get them shipped to your house, and you can send them out or whatever.
Okay.
It's not hard, and like I said, and the thing is there going to be some more oils released in a couple of weeks, so the books will be updated. So
Right.
yeah, you can get the version now, and it'll probably be less expensive. But my thing is, if you wait 2 or 3 weeks, you can get the newest. And
Right. I just know you're spitting a lot of info out right now, and I know if I was on the other end of that screen, my hand would probably be really sore right now if I was trying to take notes. So if we have the ability to get these books
sure.
and all of these homesteaders in their hands, that would help out tremendously. Now, my question to you, go ahead.
We had a question about asthma. Is there any, for a dog that has asthma, are there any safe oils to use?
Okay, the blend Breathe is very good for that. And what you could do is you can, and I use Breathe a lot. I've used it on goats that have had pneumonia. I've used it on my horses. So it's just a drop, and I would probably dilute it. It depends on what size your dog is too. Anything under 30 pounds, you really need to dilute it, like if it was a child. If the larger dogs, you can give a drop. And one thing too, while I'm talking about dosing, some people think, well, a horse is 1,000 pounds plus, I can give more oils. Well, I laid a horse on the ground. You know the one I'm talking about, Jason, that got attacked by a coyote.
Oh, okay.
He was out sleeping after about 5 drops of lavender because I had mixed it in, because it's great for wound healing, and I mixed it in the dressing that I was putting on his leg, and he was very relaxed, but he actually went to sleep snoring. And we've had other horses that I've helped people with that had behavioral issues, and the horses were standing there snoring, standing up. So you have to be careful. Just because it's a bigger animal doesn't mean you can give more. I still always suggest, and I usually do like 1 drop when I'm doing my goats of whatever, and I'll dilute it 3 to 5 cc. and I may take that 3cc syringe and dose 5 animals. It just depends on the animal and what's going on with them. So you got to be careful. Just because they're a bigger animal doesn't mean they can handle more. And it's better to start with less and dose twice a day than give a huge amount. But going back to the dog, depending on the size, if it's a bigger dog, it's okay to like put...
Said about 100 pounds.
Okay, you can take a drop, put it in your hand and do like this, and either hold it up to your dog and let them smell it, or you can just kind of put it under their neck and like on the top of the head, and it'll be like their own diffuser. And another thing that my daughter has found that works phenomenally is geranium essential oil, believe it or not. And she says it works better. And the other thing you could do is just diffuse it in the room they're in. I think sometimes we forget diffusing is such a great way. And people that are worried about cats, if you diffuse oils in a room and a cat can get away from it, they'll know when they need to leave. And my cats climb on top of my essential oil boxes, so obviously there's something in there they're wanting, because they just get attracted to it. And I'll diffuse them. If they want to come near the oils, they're fine. If they want to leave, they can. Like if you have an area where you got some sick animals and you got them quarantined, you can diffuse things. All your essential oils are great for antibacterial, antiviral. They're great for cleaning. Wild orange is also good for barber pole worms. We use wild orange a lot cleaning out our feed buckets and our troughs and stuff like that. Some of them are very good for helping keep the funguses down and the algae and things like that. The biggest thing you got to worry about with essential oils with the citrus, you don't want to put them topically on your arms or exposed skin for 12 hours. A couple of years ago, I put lemongrass on my shoulder with the rotator cuff because it was hurting me. And the next day I saw stripes going down my arm, like brown stripes. I'm thinking, what did I do? And I realized I had a suntan where all the stripes of the oil, and of course it faded away. But it just made me realize that, oh yeah, these things do that, and they can be very powerful. And you just have to respect them. They're safe, but you still need to respect them. There's never been anybody that has died from essential oils if they use them safely. I can't say that about pharmaceuticals.
I felt like I was going to die with oregano.
Well, now oregano's a hot oil, and you have to respect it. When you cook with it, you just dip a toothpick in it and swirl it around. So some of these oils are hot, and you have to respect them, and you have to dilute them.
Okay, I have Fast Family Haven keeps asking me a question, but people are typing so fast that I have missed his question like 4 times. So I'm trying to get people to stop typing for 1 second so I can read what he's saying, because it's pretty important. But it just goes so fast. So let me get back to it. He said no. He's got thyroid and autoimmune issues. Okay.
And that's exactly something I've been working with several people.
See. Okay, I have thyroid issues as well as other autoimmune issues. I've heard of cinnamon oil. However, I'm highly allergic. Are there any other oils? And then there were a couple of suggestions and things like that. But he says he's been fighting it for 20 plus years, I don't know. So much so that the hair's fallen out, finally got fed up and shaved it. And then said something else.
So let me start with that one.
Gained 50 pounds or 150 pounds in the last 2 years. Even after changing the diet to vegan for 3 months, gained 30 pounds in that 3 months.
And these are, a lot of these things, of course, will take more than just a few minutes we have on here. But there's a friend of my daughter's who was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid disorder. She was so tired that she couldn't even walk out of her house for more than 10 minutes without being exhausted. And we started her on frankincense, marjoram, and peppermint right here over her thyroid. Peppermint last, frankincense first, and then marjoram, and then peppermint. And then we started on the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and she saw results within a few days. And even her physician has told her, keep doing it because it's working. And a matter of fact, the person I was talking to Jason about earlier, that's the exact same thing they've talked to me about. And I think Jason's going to put some information out there on contacting me or emailing or something.
I am. I'm going to put it in the description.
So y'all can, and I'm on Facebook with, you can private message me there and things like that.
Or you could just buy straight from us.
Somebody else asked, is it possible that she could have cystic ovarian fibroid disease, especially with the hair falling out?
Right, but I'm not here to diagnose
Yeah,
that. so-
I have no idea what that even
I mean,
is.
if they know they have thyroid issues, they probably do have thyroid. They've probably been diagnosed by a physician.
So my question before we had to go to another question. Oregano we know is a hot oil.
Right.
And I think I learned the other night that basil's also a hot oil.
Oh, no, I
right?
put basil behind my ear all the time for ear infections.
Then
And basil, matter of fact, they had a write-up with doTERRA, and some of y'all that belong to doTERRA and get the
then maybe
Essential
it
magazine.
wasn't the.
It
May
wasn't
have
the
seen
basil, it was something else. Because
Okay.
he put it in the
I
bath.
put it in the tub because my back was bothering, and it was. Hold on, let me
You sure it wasn't peppermint?
No, it wasn't peppermint. No, but
Speaking
it
of that,
was.
should you get any essential oils in your eye
Or too close to your eye.
and it starts burning, you just take an oil like coconut oil or something, and you just put it on the outside like this.
It was either wintergreen.
pulls it
Put it up,
away,
right.
right?
It was either wintergreen, cypress, or basil. Because I put all three of those in the bath water.
And how did it make you feel
It
afterwards? Of course, because you have sensitive tissues that probably got more than they needed.
sensitive tissues.
That's one way to put it. But
I mean,
my booty felt like.
how many drops did you put of each?
Well, it was a big bathtub. It was a
There
big,
you go.
It was like,
I have told him, Kay, I've told him a
it was
million
like
times.
25 or 30.
Anybody who
You
knows
deserve
me,
to burn, okay?
yeah. Anybody who knows, who's heard me talk about essential oils, one of the things I always say is just because you have a lot of water does not mean you need a lot of oil because
Right.
it's hot. You're opening up your pores.
Remember, 1 drop of peppermint oil is equal to about 26 cups of peppermint tea.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of cups.
Yep.
All right, so maybe I'll put a little bit too much oil
There
in
you
there.
go.
But my question was, like with Apollo, when we first got him as a puppy, he was wormy. So we started 1 drop of oregano on a hot dog.
That's,
How do you get? Because he's funny. Because his mind is saying it's a hot dog, hot dog, and then he starts to chomp on it, and he gets the oregano, and he'll drop it, and then he'll pick it back. I mean, eventually he eats the whole thing.
dilute it a little bit more.
Yeah, we just have to put a little bit
We
of
need diluted
fractionated.
oil.
Or
No.
you just dip it in the a toothpick in it and just stick that in the toothpick, wrap it around, Or use Digest Zen. Digest is a blend that has so many wonderful oils for parasite management. It's just phenomenal.
Okay.
We had a dog that had a major blowout, gastric bleeding and the whole shebang, and we stopped it within 20 minutes. She was an old greyhound, and she's, bless her heart, she's gone to the Rainbow Bridge now, but that was 4 years after this blowout. But I mean, she's just, so again, you have to realize how powerful the oils are, and you have to, less is best. I'd rather you dilute and then give it 2 to 3 times in a day, row, like days, or twice a day, because you really, like oregano, you can't take it orally for more than 10 days. It's that strong of an oil. It's great for infections. I get the respiratory crud during the winter. I put a drop on one of my feet a couple times a day for 3 days. It's gone.
What oil is best for ear issues in a very fuzzy Pomeranian?
So are they having like yeasty fungus ears? Or are they having ear infections? Basil is an awesome oil. You don't ever put an oil in the ear. You put it behind the ear, and basil is phenomenal for ear infections, and it's even good for some yeasty stuff. But if I had like a dog with yeasty ears, I would like maybe dilute some melaleuca and then take a cotton ball and just wipe it on the inside of the ear, like with some coconut oil and 1 drop of melaleuca, and dilute it. And you can dilute it in like a jar and then just keep it, stir it up and just take a little dab. And when I'm saying a little dab, I'm talking about a little dab, and then just clean the ear out. And a lot of times that will just do the trick. Because like the deep blue, you literally just use the end of an eraser for deep blue. I mean, it just takes the rub. It only takes a tiny bit. I mean, it's just phenomenal. Now, talking about basil too, before I forget it, since we're trying to include gardening, and I think I've got a few minutes left. Those who, are doTERRA wellness advocates. And if you get the Essential magazine, last year they did a thing on gardening. I think they've even got it on our website page. They did an article about my suggestion about basil. Most of you know, if you do companion gardening, basil is great for deterring the tomato hornworm. You can water, put a couple of drops in a watering can or whatever, and water the ground around it. You can also do foliar spray with basil for your tomatoes. It helps with plant vigor, helps it again repel insects and things like that. And there's tons of different things that we could discuss about gardening. I'm just going to hit on this real quickly. Like I said, and I'm in the process of doing a page on gardening with essential oils. I had somebody call me a couple of weeks ago that was teaching a class, and she started a Facebook page, but she doesn't know that much about it, and I told her I'd be glad to help her as I can. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to call it, but I'll let Jason know, and he'll add the link, and you're going to add the link to my essential oil for livestock. But just to give you some quick ideas, these are like if you have fungus issues, and this is whether it's plants, people, animals: cinnamon, clove, peppermint, rosemary, thyme, melaleuca, oregano. And again, you want to dilute these. Several of these are hot oils. If you have an infection you can't get rid of, or orally, you can take thyme, oregano, melaleuca, and the blend they call On Guard, which I think we're supposed to say protective blend. That will pretty much take care of anything. But recently, doTERRA did research, and Purify is even surpassing those now. Mm-hmm. It is, to me, phenomenal. You can diffuse Purify anywhere. You got sickness going on in your house, Purify in your kennel, in your barn, in your rabbitry, in your chickens, and you can even put like a drop on a cotton ball and put it somewhere, and that's still diffusing. You don't have to necessarily buy the expensive things. Repelling insects, rosemary is very good. It's very potent at repelling flies, fleas, and mosquitoes. Deters insect larvae like the cabbage looper caterpillar. Peppermint's excellent natural insecticide for aphids, squash bugs, white flies, ants, beetles, and fleas. And it's, some of us respect spiders and love them because they help with flies, but spiders,
shoot them.
Peppermint is the best for repelling spiders.
Okay, I have a good question that I think needs to be answered. Grandpa had a good question. He said, so why do oils work? I don't understand this.
Well, if you think about it, and I'm not trying to get into religion here, but every disease has been cured on this earth at least once by a plant. So they were placed here to treat us naturally and take care of us. And if you think about it, if you have certain plants growing in your fields, animals, if they're sick, will go to them and eat them. And they're usually indigenous to the area. It's the oils, and it's the way they attract or distill and obtain the oil from the plant. And these are things that have been using for 3 to 5, thousands of years, and they have just found out that they work. Like willow bark, that's where aspirin came from originally. Thallium has the same chemical component as lavender. So a lot of your pharmaceuticals are based off of plants, and essential oils comes from your plants. Now, it's the right part of the plant, and I can't give you the 100% scientific reason why they work. But I can tell you, I haven't had them fail me yet. I might have to try more than one to get a result. But I can tell you this, when I treat people in the hospital, the side effects, the patients that die because we don't have things. We don't have any new antibiotics coming out to help people anymore. They're just not there. And then they cause all this damage to your kidney. When you're having to do drug levels constantly and kidney function tests to see what we're doing, gentamicin makes a lot of kids go deaf. And vancomycin kill your kidneys and your liver. And there's just so much going on out there that we have all these dangerous medicines. And it's because the pharmaceuticals can charge you $3,000 or $4,000 for something.
It's funny that you brought up the side effects, because I think there's a couple of us in here that play the game like when those commercials come on the radio and stuff, and then
Oh yeah.
they just rattle off all of these
Yeah.
side effects. It's like, well, if you got a bad case of diarrhea, you can take da 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 da, but it may cause stroke, blindness,
Right.
death, heart attack,
Well,
da
That's
da
more
da da.
important.
You know, and it's like some of the side effects are worse
Then what your problem is.
than what your problem is.
Or you take 20 meds for side effects because you're
To
taking
off-
this one.
Right.
Well, and like I said, prime example. I took Neurontin for back pain because I did not want to take narcotics. Settled in my retinas, and it took me 8 years to get it out of there. Then they gave me Dolabid, settled in my liver. Again, I had to take milk thistle to fix that. So I mean, and I haven't taken an antibiotic in over 25 years.
It basically, it kind of almost boils it down, and I hope this answered Grandpa's question, but in a roundabout way, it's almost like God put everything on
Exactly.
this planet for us to be able to stay healthy and wise. We just forgot it, or might as well just say we forgot about it.
Well, we trust the physician, and if you think about it, years ago, medical schools taught herbal and essential oils
And nutrition.
and nutrition. Now the doctor might get 8 hours of nutrition, and they get nothing about herbals except you don't want to use them. Then the pharmaceuticals came along, and all these big donators like Goodrich, who are some of these other people, the Rockefellers and whatever, that donated to scholarships to the med schools said, if you will only give scholarships to the schools that are teaching pharmaceuticals, then you'll get a kickback. Well, it doesn't take long. And then, of course, the college is only going to teach it where they're getting scholarships and extra funding and donations. So it didn't take long for something that works with little to no side effects got pushed to the side so Big Pharma can make the big bucks. And I have physicians that come to me and say, "Hey, I can't do this for my patient, but tell me what I can use." I mean, and they say, we know their work, but we'll be the laughing stock. However, I did talk to somebody with an insurance company last year, and she said 2017 they're going to start allowing, with your spending account, to pay for essential oils and herbs. You just have to have a physician's prescription.
Question?
I just, no. I think we're at the 5-minute mark, so we'll just kind of go from there. We will put the description, or down in the description when we put the video on, we'll let you know how you can get a hold of Kay and get into some of her groups. Remember, we use oils a lot. We don't tell a whole lot of people that we do. We probably should more. But if you have any questions at all, definitely shoot that information back at Jason and I. We can definitely help with anything. There's been a lot of questions. I haven't been able to really answer any of them, so just anytime, I'll be more than happy to help you. Kay is usually a click away from me too, so so yeah, definitely reach out to us if you have any questions. Go for Greens coming up.
Yep, Go for Green is next at 9 o'clock. But I want to show this book. This is the book that we use.
And I fell in love with this last year at convention.
It's a very good book. You got a quick reference guide where you can look and it'll tell you what oils that you can use. And then, of course, they've got the other book. If you guys are interested in getting these books, shoot us a message. Let us know. I'll let Kay know. I think
I've already put a thing in for everybody to send me a message through our Big Bear Hotmail, and we'll.
because the more that everybody orders, I think the cheaper it can be, right? Okay.
Right, with these books.
Yeah.
And usually around convention, they'll have a special. They always have specials. And I can just let Robin and Jason know. And, and it takes about a week to have them shipped, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because, of course, they get a crazy amount of
Orders.
orders. And I will get another one this year. But and just for example, and it's probably hard to pick it up real quick, but like they'll have a and this one just says cardiovascular, but it has top solutions, so you can look through here and just realize you don't have to have the exact oil. Usually it'll say, okay, clove, cinnamon, peppermint, whatever. So you can use more, you know, if you have one and it might be the third one down, you can still use it. It's,
Right.
you know, so don't think, oh my gosh, I have to have all these oils. And they've got one great one here on parasites, and it's mostly talking about people, but it gets into detail about what to use for tapeworms, what to use for, I'm just trying to think all the different worms. Lungworms, ringworms,
Heartworm.
well, no, heartworms are not really saying, but I mean, and that's a huge, big controversy. But if you take care of your mosquitoes, you're not going to have a big issue. And if you repel, because they have a wonderful blend called TerraShield that we put on our dogs, and we pretty much don't have an issue. I use it on myself a lot too. You know, it's 10 times stronger than DEET, and you don't have the issues. I love it. And now the newer blend has Arbovitae, and Arbovitae is a natural parasite. Has no parasites or funguses will attack the tree. So it's very good for repelling, and it's also very good for, I'm going to go ahead and say it, tumors. I had this big cyst, mass, whatever, on the side of my neck that was about the size of a duck egg. I don't remember if y'all saw that or I showed it to you a couple of years ago. But anyway, and I've had it for a few years, and it started growing. It was probably about the size of a quarter a few years ago. So I figured if I've still got it 20 years later, it's not cancer. I mean, that's my way I diagnose as a nurse. So, hadn't killed me yet, so it must not be dangerous. And now it's about the size, so it got about the size of a duck egg, and I haven't even been applying it religiously. And now it's probably about the size of a pecan or pecan, ever how you want to say it. So, I mean, these things work. I'm just saying, I just don't know what to say, but I mean, I definitely think if you're, and I'm not saying this to be an oil seller or whatever, I'm just saying we have found that if we were in a situation where we couldn't get to anything, that we would at least be able to take care of our family. And just a side note, my husband has a major cardiac history, and he was on 15 different medications, and he's now down to 3.
There we go. Okay, y'all, we got about a minute left. I want you guys to get ready, get over there to Go for Green Living for their show. Don't forget to check out the homesteadnetwork.com for the rest of the shows for this weekend.
Arbovitae. Frankincense.
We look for the link after the shows this evening. We'll get the link to that Essential Oils for Livestock group on Facebook. And thank everybody for coming by tonight. I'm kind of surprised y'all didn't have more questions. Guys are always talking about oils. That's why we got Miss Kay up here. I figured y'all want to talk more oil, especially when it comes to livestock.
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming, Kay. And like always, have a nice day.